Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to install two different types of mod on your Logitech G920 or G29 shifter. Let's get into it. So the first mod is just simply changing the gear knob. Now this one is a weighted gear knob, it weighs about 200 grams. I'll link it in the description if it's still on Amazon because I bought it like a year ago. And I honestly find it really helpful. It prevents misshifts and it makes gear changes so much smoother. On the downside, it does, I just flick it, it will instantly go into gear. That's a bit unrealistic. In actual car, it's a lot tougher to move into gear. And I'll show you another mod for that later. This does make it a tiny bit easier as well, so it is a bit less realistic, but personally, I find it more realistic. It's hard to explain. Once you've installed one, you'll see the dramatic difference. So installing one of these is really simple. First, you need to take the original gear knob off. Now, you might need a tool for this, but most times this just comes off quite easily. This bit doesn't usually come off, and I have no idea how it has come off. Now, for most people, it will look like this once you've taken this cap off. And inside here is a screw. Now, because I've had this so long, and I've not used this knob in so long, I've lost a screw. But there is a screw in here, and you will need a Phillips head screwdriver to remove it. Quite a big one, actually. It's quite a big screw. And yeah, it's pretty simple. You just take the gear knob off. Now, there are quite a few different types, but most of the mods you'll find, you just type in custom gear knob. You can even type for Logitech G920, do on Temu, wherever you want. I got this from Amazon for 20 quid, which is a bit steep. This is one that's actually meant for a car. And most of the time, these will come with 3 different adapters. You want to use the middle size adapter, which I'll just put in a screw it inside of here. So the adapter comes separately, you screw it inside of there. Then literally, all you do, not that harsh, is just put it on top. Then just twist it. And there you go. Kabam. You have a new gear knob. Just test it for a while to make sure it stays. If it doesn't stay, then you can just put stuff inside of there to make sure it doesn't move. Because these are meant for actual car gear sticks, which are a tiny bit different. But yeah, it's basically the exact same concept. I've used this for half a year. It works perfectly fine. So yeah, 10 out of 10 for this one. And as I said before, it does prevent misshifts, makes shifting a lot smoother. But I can still just do that. Which makes me move on to my second modification, which is this. Now, these may look like two pretty simple parts. I ordered this off of eBay. I'm pretty sure you can get it off Temu, but I didn't actually see it on there. But I will put a link in the description to where I bought this from. And this is a pretty simple concept, which I didn't even think of. But people do make these. This is a 3D printed part. This goes on top of it. It goes actually inside of here. Fits perfectly for only this shifter. And the actual shifter sits in here, and it just provides tension between each one, making it harder to move into gear. You may think, well, that's worse. It actually has improved my racing. Somehow. Probably just because it's more realistic. Anyway, same thing again. You just want to remove this, and this is a pretty good tutorial on how to remove it. Literally that. Pull really hard, now it will literally get removed. Simple. Anyway, the next step's not as simple, but I think it's still pretty simple. You simply remove these 6 Allen head screws, and I'd say use a 2. I mean, I just bought like a set of these and experimented until which one of these works. But I found the 2mm Allen key works for this. So simply unscrew all of these until you can't see any screws. And there we go. Make sure not to use any of these screws like I have done in the past. I spent like 5 hours trying to find them. It's the most annoying thing ever. And literally, just like the gear knob, it just so easily comes off. Now here comes the slightly more complicated part. You can actually see the inside, which I find really cool. Use these stoppers, just stop it. That's very stupidly cool. Anyway, what you want to do, this is a pretty, I wouldn't say complex step, but what you want to do is simply put this on here, and that won't move. That will not move anywhere. Good. And it utilizes these foam bits, so make sure not to put it the wrong way. And there should be an arrow. Yeah, there's an arrow up here. And that tells me that it needs to be this way. Or the thicker side should be facing upwards towards the symbol. Doesn't even matter which way this goes, but basically, I thought it was vertical when I first got this. But no, it's actually horizontal. That's how it fits. And that should fit on top of there. So you should still see those tabs over there. But it should fit kind of snug. So you should see those tabs. And it should still be able to move. Now, if you're wondering why it's going upwards and you think that might be an issue, don't worry. I've used this for like a week now. Hasn't moved yet. So that's a relief. And it did come with spare parts too, which is nice. So I don't have a good feeling about this, but it has really held up fine. And I've done some harsh shifts on it. And the way this keeps in place is by this thing. So if you don't want to shift with this thing, this little leather thing, then I would not recommend getting this mod because it will not stay down otherwise. Let's use like tape or something. But yeah. Okay, it doesn't actually matter which way around you place this thing on top of it. As long as you place it so you can see all the screws are nice and snug, then you can just replace all the Allen screws. Now, with these screws, make sure you don't put them on too tightly when you're doing it, because as you can see, this flap is now going up, making it harder to screw. I'd say do it a little bit at a time, because it is still pushing the structure. Don't worry, it's not going to bend the plastic or anything. It's just the way it is. Once you've screwed all them down, it is perfectly good to go. There we go, that's all of the screws nicely placed on there. Now, just for the last step, replace your gear knob. By just putting that on there. There you go, you're literally done. It does require a lot more force now. As you can see, if I do this, it will not be shifting. Like, you shift a tiny bit, that's because it's like in the middle, but it will not go into gear. Now, what I found is third and fourth have the least tension. They still have a lot. There's only one downside to this, and that is the fact that it makes a little rattling noise. But when you're actually playing a game, you don't even notice. I've started to not notice, but all I have noticed is the fact it is a lot more realistic to an actual gearbox. And I've also seen all these videos on YouTube which don't even tell you this. They give you some sort of rubber band method, which just makes it into a sequential shifter, or the rubber band just fall off anyway. So I found this to be the best method. Even though you have to pay quite a bit of money for it, it is genuinely so worth it, trust me. It's not sponsored in any way. It's just my honest opinion. It is definitely worth it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I hope this helps. And yeah, hope this helps you racing. Bye.